You're live from New Delhi, you're watching DT India News, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, coming up in the next hour. Celebrations erupt across the nation as India clinches Asia Cup by defeating arch rival Pakistan in Asia Cup final in Dubai. Prime Minister Modi terms India's win as Operation Sindoor on the games field. Disgraceful behaviour by Asian Cricket Council President Mosi Naqvi as he leaves with Asia Cup trophy after India refuses to accept trophy from him. BCCI to lodge protest with ICC. US President Trump expresses optimism on Gaza peace deal as he will hold talks with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. Hamas says it lost contact with 2 hostages in Gaza City. In US, at least 4 dead, several others wounded after gunman opens fire at a Michigan church. Trump condemns the attack, says the epidemic of violence in US must end immediately. Typhoon Boaloi braces up central Vietnam as widespread damage reported across the Southeast Asian nation. Businesses, airports shut, thousands evacuated ahead of landfall. And on to the details. India beats Pakistan by 5 wickets in a tense final to retain the Asia Cup for the 9th time at the Dubai International Cricket Stadium. While India bowled out Pakistan for a modest 146 and then chased down the target of 147 with 2 balls remaining. Coming in to bat with India 2 wickets down for 10 runs in the 3rd over, Tilak Varma weathered the storm while wickets fell at the other end. Varma smashed an unbeaten 69 in 53 balls, while Shivam Dube contributed a breezy 22-ball 33 during a vital 60-run partnership for the 5th wicket. Earlier, Kuldeep Yadav was the star of the show with excellent figures of 4 for 30 in 4 overs, while fellow spinners Varun Chakravarti, Akshar Patel and Jasprit Bumrah were also among the wickets after India opted to bowl first. Now, it was the 3rd meeting between the rivals at the tournament and success for India earned them a 9th title. It has been the most dominant force in Asia Cup history, lifting the trophy in the years 1984, 1988, 1990, 91, 1995, 2010, 2016, 2018, 2023 and now in 2025. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also mentioned Operation Sindoor in his post on X, congratulating Surya Kumar Yadav's men soon after the conclusion of the match. He said, and I quote, #Operation Sindoor on the games field. Outcome is the same. India wins. Congrats to our cricketers, unquote. Well, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar also extended congratulations, saying congrats to Team India on winning the Asia Cup. New India delivers. And significantly, Indian captain Surya Kumar Yadav's squad celebrated on the champions podium without a trophy after the Indian cricket team refused to collect it from Mosi Naqvi, who is not only the chairman of the Asian Cricket Council but also the chief of the Pakistan Cricket Board and the Interior Minister of Pakistan. Backing the action was Secretary of the Board of Control for Cricket in India, Secretary Devajit Saikia, who condemned the act of Mosi Naqvi taking the Asia Cup trophy along with him from the dais after India declined to accept it from him. He further added that the BCCI would be registering a protest against Naqvi at the International Cricket Council meeting next month.
India is having a war with a country, and that country is one of the main leaders. Is supposed to hand over the trophy to us. It is not possible for us. It is not ethically as well as morally possible for us. And if you think from the point of patriotism also, we cannot accept a trophy from a person who represents a country, that country is waging a war against our country. So we have refused to take that trophy, but that does not mean that that gentleman will take the trophy and the medals which is to be given to our country to his own hotel room. So that is totally unexpected, and we hope that good sense will prevail and he will send back the trophy to the country, that means to India, as soon as possible. That will restore some semblance of morality. At least we are expecting that from him. And in any case, BCCI as well as we are going to lodge a very strong protest against the behavior of the gentleman in today's prize distribution ceremony.
Thank you.
While tweeting pictures with the fake trophy, Suryakumar Yadav said after the win, and I quote, "When the game is done, only the champions will be remembered and not the picture of the trophy," unquote. He's also made a heartfelt gesture announcing that he would donate his entire match fees from the tournament to the Indian Armed Forces. And India's head coach Gautam Gambhir had a simple message filled with intent after India's 5-wicket win over Pakistan. In a crisp and clear message, Gambhir said, and I quote, "In the end, intent always wins," unquote. Well, India erupted in celebration after the big win in the thrilling match from Delhi, Mumbai, Patna, Sindoor, Vadodara to Poonch. Visuals emerged of fans bursting firecrackers, beating dolls and dancing in the streets. Well, the high-voltage clash at Dubai kept supporters on edge with momentum swinging both ways before India's lower middle order held nerve to seal a memorable finish. Well, the result triggered wild celebrations across the nation with fans waving the tricolour and chanting slogans late into the night. In Kanpur, fans of the Indian cricket team took to the streets, bursting crackers and dancing with joy to celebrate the victory. The victory sparked jubilant scenes across Mumbai as fans took to the streets to celebrate. Supporters cheered the team's performance, dancing to the beat of dolls and reveling in India's memorable win. Also, celebrations erupted across Jammu and Kashmir. Fans took to the streets, waving Indian flags and dancing in jubilation.
What a fantastic win. What a fantastic win.
One thing you need to learn about India, India never leaves without a loss. Never.
Go India, yes, keep on winning, yes.
One thing that changed the game, Tilak Verma, he stood when everyone sat down.
Yes.
He spoke when everyone was quiet. Go Tilak.
India.
Never doubt India. Never doubt
जीत
India.
गया भाई, जीत
India
गया.
will only win.
जीत गया भाई, जीत गया.
India जीत गया.
Power play we lose 3 wickets, but Tilak Verma.
It was a close match, but India still managed to win.
It was very exciting, and most important, the spirit of game was very well maintained by both the teams.
The Tilak Verma was a match winner, and India has no problem. There were two teams they can play against the Pakistan, and they can beat the Pakistan all the time.
Pakistan will never win from India no matter what, because their spirit level, their confidence level is very low. They have to work on it.
It is very, very difficult for the Pakistan team to beat India anymore in any kind of match. I hope India will go more stronger and stronger in Asia.
Today in the match, I like Tilak the most because he made very good half century and also he played very good today. I'm very happy that India won. Pakistan and India played very good and it's a tough match.
This is a tremendous and a proud moment and beautiful moment for every Indian. Vande Mataram! Chak the India!
It's amazing what they have done and they never ever give up, our team.
India! 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 India!
And for more, we have Abhishek Mahajan joining us on the phone line. Well, Abhishek, we just saw the jubilant fans. A big win for India. Prime Minister Modi termed India's win as Operation Sindoor on the games field. Tell us about the high voltage clash.
Absolutely, Lipakshi. Great game, and that's what you expect when India and Pakistan play. And that too, in the finals, there were a lot of ebbs and flows in the game. Pakistan, they started off well. They were 113 for 1 in just 12 overs, and it looked like they're going to score 170, 180. But then what a superb performance by the Indian spinner and Indian spinners, in fact, spin trio, and a special credit to Kuldeep Yadav, who bowled brilliantly and took 4 wickets. And once they were 113 for 1, and they ended up scoring just 146. So you can see this is the reason why India have been doing so well, Lipakshi, in the tournament, and why Pakistan hasn't been scoring big despite starting off well. In just 33 runs, they lost 9 wickets in the end. And what a great chase Indian team also. They were, in fact, 20 for 3, but that's how Indian team, why they are the champions, why India won 7 games out of 7 in the entire tournament. Their intent, their determination, and how they came back, not only in this game, but in the entire tournament against Sri Lanka also. They won in the super over. But yes, great performance by Indian bowlers, and then in batting also they were 20 for 3. But when India was 10 for 2, Tilak Verma came on to bat, and what a great performance in the games like these, in the finals, and that too high voltage game against Pakistan. You need to control your nerves, and that's what Tilak Verma also did. And you got to mention about Rinku Verma also. He didn't, Rinku Singh also, in fact, I'm sorry, but he didn't play the entire tournament. And he just played 1 ball in the entire tournament, and that the ball that mattered the most. He scored the winning runs for India. But yes, Abhishek Sharma receiving the Player of the Series award, and Tilak Verma receiving the Player of the Match award. Great performance. Well deserved after 41 years, 17 editions. India, they won the 9th edition of the Asia Cup again.
Absolutely, Abhishek. Also, Surya Kumar tweeted pictures with a fake trophy saying only champions will be remembered and not the picture. This has never happened, that a trophy not awarded to the winning team. BCCI expected to take a strong stand, is it?
Yes, absolutely, Lipakshi. In fact, he said at the post-match press conference that the time he started playing cricket, since the time he started watching cricket, he has never seen something like this. And BCCI will lodge a very strong protest in the next ICC meeting that will be held in 2 months' time in November against Asian Cricket Council Chief Mosi Naqvi. Who in fact, Lipakshi, I mean, it was not expected. I mean, he literally walked away with the Asia Cup trophy after Indian team refused to accept it from him. And BCCI secretary, we just heard that he said that he in fact justified the team's refusal, saying that India cannot accept the trophy from a person who is waging a war against the country, quote unquote. Yes, BCCI will lodge a strong protest against Mohsin Naqvi, against the ACC also, and this should not have happened. I mean, there were a lot of controversies. In the entire tournament, what happened, we all saw since the time India played their first game against Pakistan on 14th. India did not take hands with the Pakistani players. They lodged a protest saying that match referee should be removed because he was acting on India's behest. And then India also opted out not to take the mandatory photo shoot also with the Pakistan right ahead of the final. So India have taken the stand. Surya Kumar Yadav, he said after the first match itself at the press conference that we are completely aligned with the BCCI's policy and the government of India's policy, that it was not impromptu, Manjuli Pakshi, that India did not shake hands with the Pakistani players.
All right.
ACC knew about it. In fact, Pakistani players also knew about it. So India took the stand. But yes, this was called for, trophy. India won the trophy. Surya Kumar Yadav also said that these players who are there with me, who won India the finals, they are my trophy. It's written everywhere, Champions India. So it doesn't matter whether we get the trophy or not. But
Absolutely.
yes, everyone knows that we have won the Asia Cup.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Abhishek, for all those details. And still to come on DD India News. Israeli tanks advance in Gaza City as Hamas reports lost contact with hostages amid calls for temporary ceasefire. Moldova's pro-European party leads amid election fraught with Russian disinformation allegations. And dozens of hot air balloons light up the skies over medieval Rocamadour at annual Montgolfier d'Hiver's festival.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, and moving on, international updates now. US President Donald Trump voiced optimism that a deal is near to end the conflict in Gaza ahead of Monday's negotiations with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The two leaders will meet today at the White House for a high-stake discussion that Trump has boasted could end the conflict in Gaza. Well, Trump projected optimism on Sunday as his administration works to close a comprehensive plan that would include the release of all hostages held by Hamas. A White House official said the U.S. plan calls for the return of all hostages, living and dead, no further Israeli attacks on Qatar, and a new dialogue between Israel and Palestinians for peaceful coexistence. Trump did not provide specific details of a prospective ceasefire for hostages deal in Gaza, but Vice President J.D. Vance said the top U.S. officials are immersed in very complicated negotiations with Israel and Arab leaders. Vance said he believed Trump's optimism is warranted, but injected a note of caution.
These things can get derailed at the very last minute. So while I remain very hopeful, I am cautiously hopeful. I'm going to let the diplomats continue to work on this. But our principle here is very simple. We want all the hostages to come home. We want Hamas to no longer be a terror threat.
Well, meanwhile, Israeli tanks pushed deeper into the Gaza City, and the military wing of Hamas said it had lost contact with two hostages held there. Well, the Hamas military wing, Al-Qassam brigades, called on Israel on Sunday to pull troops back and suspend air strikes in Gaza City for 24 hours so fighters could retrieve the captives. Now, Trump told in a phone interview he had received a very good response from Israel and Arab leaders to the Gaza peace plan proposal, and that everybody wants to make a deal. Hamas said the group had not yet received any proposal from Trump nor from the mediators. Israel has launched a massive ground assault on Gaza City, flattening whole districts and ordering hundreds of thousands of Palestinians to flee to the tented camps. And for more, we have Akshay Dongre joining us on this. Well, Akshay, with Trump-Netanyahu talks today and the complexity of the Gaza conflict and the multiple stakeholders involved, how realistic is the U.S. plan for a ceasefire for hostages deal? What can be expected today?
Something may result into a ceasefire, because there has already been a mindless loss of lives. Innocent children on both sides, have died. Innocent people have died. and there has been a lot of devastation, almost irreparable loss to the trust between the Gazans and the Israelites. So the situation is tense, but yes, the world is expecting a ceasefire. But how much a US ceasefire plan is going to work out on the ground, that is the biggest question. Because there are being claims. There are claims being made that there are so and so ceasefire plans, and they will be implemented, and there are high hopes from the US being expressed. But the similar kind of high hopes were being expressed during the ceasefire plans between Russia and Ukraine war, and the war that's going on between the two countries as well. There is skepticism that's still going on strong as far as hopes from the ceasefire plan is concerned, but there is going to be a meeting between Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump, and it seems in DC there will be some sort of a concrete decision that the two countries may come up with. How much they will result in a ceasefire, that still is a big question.
All right, Akshay, as you said, skepticism still prevails. How might the proposed US plan, which includes a halt to the Israeli attacks on Qatar also, and the renewed Israeli-Palestinian dialogue, of course, affect the long-term peace prospects in this region?
Well, the peace prospects are clearly hit, with the kind of falling out of the war, the fallout of the war that has been happening, be it involving Iran, be it involving Qatar now at this point in time. The situation has become like a tinderbox, and there has to be US intervention, because US is the country that has some of the largest and the most number of bases in and around that area. Qatar is a nation that has one of the largest, military base there for the US Army. That country being attacked by Israel says a lot, about the kind of situation deteriorating in the last few months and years, especially as far as the larger picture is concerned. So, we are expecting that Netanyahu, because of the immense pressure that is coming in from some of the closest allies of the US and Israel, also now recognizing Palestine as a nation. There is hope that Netanyahu will have to concede into the demands of a ceasefire now, before the situation gets worse, and sort of the public review absolutely gets changed against Israel, especially in the region.
All right. Thank you so much, Akshay, for all those details. And moving on, in Michigan's Grand Blanc Township, 2 people have been killed, including the suspect, in a shooting at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Now, a man crashed his vehicle through the front doors of a Mormon church in Michigan and came out firing an assault rifle, killing 2 people and wounding 8 others before dying in a shootout with the police. The perpetrator, identified as Thomas Jacob Sanford, a 40-year-old man from the nearby town of Burton, also set fire to the church, which was engulfed in flames and billowing smoke. Investigators will search the shooter's home and phone records in search of the motive. US President Donald Trump called the incident horrendous in a post on his Truth Social and said it's yet another targeted attack on the Christians, and said the FBI was on the scene. According to the Gun Violence Archive, which tracks such incidents and describes a mass shooting, the rampage marked the 324th mass shooting in the U.S. in 2025. And another shooting at a dockside restaurant in Southport, North Carolina, left at least 3 dead and 8 injured. The shooting occurred at the American Fish Company restaurant and bar along the Intercoastal Waterway. The shooter was aboard a boat and pulled alongside a dockside restaurant in Southport and began firing. Authorities said the suspected gunman, Nigel Edge, was a resident of Oak Island, a nearby seaside town, and that he was known to the police. Now, the police said Edge self-identifies as a combat veteran suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. He was previously known as Sean D. Bevois, but changed his name to Nigel Edge in 2023. And U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth on Sunday ordered 200 Oregon National Guard troops to be deployed under federal authority, while the state filed a lawsuit challenging Trump's move to send military forces to Portland. Now, Trump on Saturday announced plans to send troops into Portland, saying they would be used to protect federal immigration facilities against domestic terrorists and that he was authorizing them to use full force if necessary. Now, Trump's deployments of military forces into other municipalities led by Democrats, including Los Angeles and Washington, D.C., have spurred legal challenges and protest. Oregon's suit was filed against Trump, Hegseth, and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem in federal court in Portland by Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield. The suit accused Trump of exceeding his powers. The lawsuit stated that protests against the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency in Portland have been small and relatively contained since June. And Moldova's pro-European ruling party emerged as the front-runner in Sunday's parliamentary elections based on near-complete results in a vote clouded by allegations of Russian meddling in the former Soviet Republic. Now, with 95% of the votes counted early Monday, the Party of Action and Solidarity, PAS in power since 2021, held a strong lead with 48.3% of the vote, significantly ahead of the pro-Russian Patriotic Bloc, which came in second with 25.5%. Now, PAS is close to a majority in the 101-seat parliament and could surpass 50% once overseas votes are counted. Maintaining its parliamentary majority would help PAS continue Moldova's long EU integration process. PAS leader Igor Grosu expressed gratitude to the voters for coming to polling stations. Meanwhile, the EU stated that the ballot was overshadowed by fears of vote buying and unrest, as well as unprecedented campaign of disinformation from Russia. Moscow has denied the allegations. Some 20 political parties and independent candidates were running for the 101 parliamentary seats. Voters in the country of 2.4 million have expressed frustration over economic hardship, as well as skepticism over the drive to join the European Union. And Cameroon's presidential candidates launched their campaigns this weekend ahead of the upcoming election. Supporters of President Paul Biya emphasized his experience, while opposition candidate Cabral Libby attracted large crowds calling for change after Biya's more than 40 years in power. Libby engaged with enthusiastic supporters by singing and waving, presenting himself as a youthful alternative to the 91-year-old leader. His supporters waved banners and danced, expressing frustration over Biya's lengthy rule. Earlier, Mayor David Mafani voiced his support for Biya, considering him the best choice despite ongoing security issues. And Colombian President Gustavo Petro on Saturday dismissed the U.S. decision to revoke his visa and accused Washington of violating international law over his criticism of Israel's conflict in Gaza. Now, the U.S. said on Friday it would revoke Petro's visa after he took to New York streets to join a pro-Palestinian demonstration and urged U.S. soldiers to disobey President Donald Trump's orders. Petro said on social media, and I quote, "I no longer have a visa to travel to the United States. I don't care. I don't need a visa." Israel has repeatedly denied genocide charges over its actions in Gaza and says it is acting in self-defense. Israel calls its actions self-defense after the October 2023 attack by Hamas. Colombia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said in a statement that using visa revocation as a diplomatic weapon goes against the spirit of the UN. Petro cut diplomatic ties with Israel in 2024 and banned Colombian coal exports to the country as well. And now let's take a look at other stories making news around the world. The world's first methanol-powered transoceanic car carrier has set sail from Singhi, carrying nearly 10,000 vehicles to Europe. Using green methanol as fuel, the ship can cut greenhouse gas emissions by more than 70%. The vessel, resembling an elephant, features 13 cargo decks, 78,000 square meters of deck space, and over 9,400 parking spots. It can also carry buses and trucks. World-renowned photographer Steve McCurry, best known for his unforgettable Afghan girl portrait, has launched the world premiere of his next exhibition, The New Haunted Eye in Istanbul. The exhibition is a part of Turkey Culture Route Festival and is open until November 30th. It presents 25 iconic images alongside 160 never-before-seen photographs, offering a comprehensive glimpse into McCurry's extensive career. A-list stars gathered for the final collection presentation of Giorgio Armani at Milan Fashion Week. The show, initially celebrating the brand's 50th anniversary, became a tribute to the late designer who passed away on the 4th of September at the age of 91. Fashion stars are now heading to Paris for the next round of shows. About 24 hot air balloons floated gracefully over the medieval French town of Racamodar during the annual Montgolfiades festival organized by local group Rocamadour Aerostat. The event attracted ballooning enthusiasts and spectators alike, filling the skies with vibrant colors and creating a picturesque spectacle against the town's historic backdrop. Every year on the 29th of September, the world comes together to observe the World Heart Day, an initiative dedicated to raising awareness about cardiovascular diseases and promoting preventive measures. This year's theme, Don't Miss a Beat, emphasizes the importance of vigilance and proactive care. It encourages individuals not to ignore warning signs, to maintain heart-healthy routines, schedule regular checkups, and seek timely medical help. And still to come on DD India News Hour. Bihar gets major rail boost to receive 3 new Amrit Bharat trains and 4 passenger trains. Madurai bench of Madras High Court to hear case on many deaths during TVK leader C. Joseph Vijay's campaign in Karur. And Maharashtra faces severe flooding and waterlogging as torrential rains lash Marathwada and North Maharashtra.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. And moving on, Bihar is set to receive another major boost in the field of modern rail connectivity. Union Minister for Railways and Information and Broadcasting, Ashwini Vaishnaw, will dedicate 7 trains to the East Indian state from Patna Junction, which includes 3 Amrit Bharat Express trains. With the launch of 3 more Amrit Bharat Express trains, the total number of trains across the country will rise to 15, out of which 13 will operate from Bihar. The new Amrit Bharat trains being launched are from Muzaffarpur Charlap Ali Amrit Bharat Express, Darbhanga Madar Amrit Bharat Express, and Chapra Anand Vihar Terminal Amrit Bharat Express. Now, these modern high-speed trains are designed to provide affordable, safe and comfortable journeys, especially for the middle class and common travelers. In addition to the express trains, 4 new passenger train services will also be inaugurated, improving intrastate connectivity and fulfilling long-standing public demands. And India's Minister for Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh, has said that India must consciously build its strength in emerging technologies if it is to remain competitive globally. He was speaking at the 84th Foundation Day of CSIR, or Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, citing recent breakthroughs such as the first indigenously developed nifedramycin, an antibiotic effective against resistant respiratory infections. He said collaboration between CSIR and allied departments like biotechnology is essential to maximize national outcomes.
वर्षों में जिस प्रकार से प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में सभी के सभी विज्ञान इनिशिएटिव्स का विस्तार भी हुआ है, प्राइवेट सेक्टर को और अधिक मात्रा में इंटीग्रेट किया गया है, उसी स्पिरिट को आगे बढ़ाते हुए हमने न केवल इन 37 के 37 इंस्टीट्यूट्स की शो केसिंग करके लोगों तक पहुंचने का प्रयास किया, उन लोगों तक जिनके लिए कि काम ज़िंदगी में वो ईज़ ऑफ लिविंग की संभावनाएं पैदा कर सकते हैं, बल्कि इनको साइंस के दूसरे विभागों के साथ भी इंटीग्रेट करके साइलो से निकाल करके एक व्यापक स्तर पर इंडस्ट्री रिसर्च एकेडमिया का लिंकेज स्थापित करके भारत की विकास यात्रा और विकसित भारत के उस लक्ष्य प्राप्ति के लिए जिस प्रकार से टेक्नोलॉजी का महत्वपूर्ण योगदान रहने वाला है, उसके महत्व को समझते हुए हमने उस तरह से इसको एक नया स्वरूप देने का प्रयास।
Well, updates now on Tamil Nadu's Karur rally stampede. The Madurai bench of the Madras High Court will hear a case to be filed by Tamilaga Vetri Kazagam regarding the death of as many as 40 individuals during a campaign by its leader Vijay in Karur district on Saturday. Earlier, the Madras High Court on Sunday heard a petition seeking to restrain actor politician Vijay's party, TVK, from conducting any public gatherings, rallies or gatherings until the completion of the official inquiry into the Karur stampede tragedy. The plea came in the wake of the Saturday incident in Karur. The tragedy, which has shocked the state, has raised serious questions over recent event management, police security and crowd control measures. The Tamil Nadu government had already ordered a probe with senior officials and the police top brass reviewing the lapses. And the Jammu and Kashmir government will reopen 12 more tourist spots on Monday. These tourist spots have been closed since Pahalgam terror attacks since 22nd this year. Now, of these tourist spots and religious places, 5 are in Jammu Division and 7 in Kashmir Division. 7 tourist spots in Kashmir Division, including Aru Valley, Rafting Point, Yanar, Akkad Park, Patshahi Park, Kaman Post, and 5 in Jammu Division, including Dagan Top, Ramban, Dhagar in Kathua, Shiv Cave in Salal. Riyasi will be reopened from September 29th. After the Pahalgam attack, the government had announced closure of nearly 50 tourist places across J&K due to security issues. And some global weather updates. First up from India, the Indian Meteorological Department has forecasted continued heavy to very heavy rainfall across several parts of the country for the next 2 to 3 days. As per the IMD, red alert has been issued for Saurashtra and Kutch as they are likely to witness heavy to very heavy rain with isolated extremely heavy falls. The Met Department in its latest forecast has issued orange and yellow alerts for several districts of Gujarat and Goa for the next 4 days till October 1st. Odisha is likely to experience a wet Dussehra on October 2nd as a low-pressure area is expected to form over the Bay of Bengal the previous day, bringing heavy rainfall in the eastern state, the IMD said. Meanwhile, Maharashtra is reeling from torrential rainfall over the past 24 hours, with Marathwada, North Maharashtra region facing severe flooding and waterlogging. The Indian Meteorological Department has issued alert for Mumbai, Thane, Palghar, Raigad, Nashik Ghats and Pune Ghats, forecasting heavy to extremely heavy rainfall with gusty winds for the next 48 hours. And for more, we have Shishir Shiller joining us. Well, Shishir, IMD has issued an orange alert for Maharashtra again. How is the weather in the state right now?
Absolutely, Pakshi. Last 48 hours was quite tough for a few districts in Maharashtra, particularly the Marathwada region is hardly hit because of heavy rainfall since last 48 hours, and that's the reason we have seen that some of the low-lying areas are still submerged in the water. Well, state government is actually looking this entire situation quite closely and also deployed officials the rescue of the people because some of the rivers are overflowing to the danger mark, and that's the reason people have been evacuated from the houses and been shifted to safe house here. People have been provided shelter and food also since last 24 to 48 hours. And the government, as I said, that actually working on these areas, that if anyone is left behind, the government is rescuing them as well and bringing them to the safe areas. Well, as far as the northern Maharashtra is concerned, the Nasik, Dhule and Jalgaon district also have seen a quite heavy rainfall since last 48 hours. And that's the reason the farmers have actually faced a burnt of it. We have seen that most of the farms have been submerged, and that's the reason the kharif crops have been damaged in these areas. Well, the farmers have already asked for compensation from the government, and the government, last week also, the state government of Maharashtra has released almost 2,200 crore funds for the farmers, the first assistance to them. The government have also asked, ordered to all the government officials to conduct a survey in these areas, particularly Marathwada region and the northern Maharashtra region, to carry out the survey of these farms which have been severely affected so that they can provide help to the farmers. Well, today on 29th, we have seen here that IMD, the Indian Meteorological Department, has issued an orange alert for this reason. But some of the region have also, since yesterday night, we have seen that rain has stopped there. But it will take few hours actually to return to the normalcy of this entire region. And that's the reason continuously the National Disaster Relief Team and the Maharashtra State Disaster Relief Team is actually camping in these areas and actually helping all these people who have been affected because of the heavy rainfall.
All right, Shishu, thank you so much for that update from Maharashtra. And moving on, Typhoon Bualoy made landfall in northern central Vietnam in the early hours of Monday, damaging houses and knocking down power grids, with at least one person dead and 12 fishermen missing as the storm brought flooding rains and huge swells. According to the National Weather Forecast Agency, the typhoon was over Naqvi and province as of 800 to 100 GMT, with maximum wind speeds weakening to 88 km per hour from 117 km per hour when it made landfall hours earlier. Now, ahead of the typhoon hitting, the government evacuated more than 28,500 people, while hundreds of flights were cancelled or delayed as 4 airports in central provinces were closed. Also, Spain's meteorological agency on Sunday issued a red warning for heavy rains in eastern region, prompting authorities to close schools and universities in Valencia on Monday. Now, the country's weather agency issued an extraordinary danger warning for Tarragona, Castellón and Valencia on Sunday and Monday. Citing the weather alert, Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez urged citizens to always follow civil protection and emergency services instructions. Meanwhile, schools and universities will be closed in Valencia on Monday, as will public spaces such as libraries, parks and markets. And the European Environment Agency warned on Monday that Europe must do more to protect its environment and improve its resilience against global warming. Now, the agency presented its latest report on climate change. It comes after EU member states at a UN climate summit last week were unable to present a formal 2035 plan to further slash greenhouse gases due to disagreements among its 27 member states. Now, EU greenhouse gas emissions have dropped by 37% since 1990. Well ahead of other major polluters like China and the United States, due to the reduced use of fossil fuels and the doubling of renewable energy since 2005. Now, the continent's nature continues to face degradation, overexploitation and biodiversity loss, noted the EEA, which compiled data from 38 countries across the continent for its report. The impacts of climate change represent a growing challenge. Many of the effects are indirect, causing damage to infrastructure and ecosystems. The financial toll of these events continues to mount. The agency said EU countries must step up implementation of policies and longer-term sustainability, enabling actions already agreed to under the European Green Deal. And still to come, DD India News, sir. RBI Monetary Policy Committee meets amid trade tensions and new GST rates eyeing impact on the economy. US President Trump to meet Congress leaders in White House to avert shutdown. And Mahasaptami today, as 9-day Navaratri festival continues to be celebrated with great fervour.
Welcome to DD India, where a billion voices unite, connecting viewers to the stories that matter. India is not just another news channel. It's the international channel that puts the spotlight on the global south, bringing you stories from the heart of emerging economies, dynamic cultures, and transformative voices. As the international news channel of India's public broadcaster Prasar Bharati, DD India delivers high-quality content from every corner of the globe, focusing on the stories that shape our future. We don't just report news. We connect you to India's voice in the global narrative. From current affairs to culture, from economic growth to sustainable development and the ever-evolving world order, DD India gives you a comprehensive view of the world around us. Stay connected, stay informed, and embrace the stories that shape our lives. DD India, India's voice to the
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Nipakshi Khurana, and on to some business news now. The Reserve Bank of India Monetary Policy Committee will meet from September 29 to October 1st. The 6-member MPC led by RBI Governor Sanjay Malhotra will begin its deliberations on Monday, with the decision to be announced on Wednesday. The RBI paused cutting rates in its previous meeting in August after 3 consecutive cuts totaling 100 basis points. The October meeting has become crucial as Trump's additional tariff of 25%, taking the total to 50%, came into effect on August 27th, just days after the August meeting. GST new rates also kicked in on September 22nd in a move to boost consumption and increase domestic manufacturing. And Prasar Bharati has partnered with Collective Media Network to bring India's first AI-powered rock band, Trilok, to audiences via All India Radio, Doordarshan and Waves OTT. In conversation with DD India correspondent Shyama Mishra, Vijay Subramaniam, the founder of Collective Media Network, explained the initiative in detail. Listen in.
AI is now omnipresent, but what is more surprising that we will hear music from a band which is completely made by AI. We have Vijay Subramaniam with us. He is the group CEO and founder at Collective Artists Network. Vijay, you've paired with the Waves OTT, and we've seen a lot of short videos. Tell us about this band and how it is AI-based and what it does.
Firstly, thank you so much. Very, very happy with Prasar Bharati's and lucky to be partnering with the country's absolute far-reaching media company. Trilok is very close to my heart. Trilok, while you're saying it's AI, there are people behind Trilok are humans who make the songs. We use technology as a medium to make these songs faster, bigger, better.
How did this idea come about? You know, that we should be catching this particular pulse and giving it to the audience. How? From where did it born?
The idea came from a very simple insight, which is, why hasn't technology been used to enhance creativity? I think in the classic debate of is AI for or against human creativity, I would always say that industrial revolution of any shapes and forms, or technological revolutions, have always come and advanced when you treat them as friends.
This collaboration with Waves OTT, how did that come about and how is it going?
Big proponent of Honorable Prime Minister's initiatives in the last more than a decade, which has made India truly into a global brand. And I think, how did it come about? I don't know how else. I think Prasar Bharati reaches to the nooks and corners of this country, and I think Waves is one of those initiatives that we all should be very proud of.
Thank you very much for talking to us. So yes, we should be looking forward to listening to more music from Trilok, and it is available on Waves OTT. So please go and do check about these devotional music coming out straight from the AI band. With camera person Suresh Kale, this is Shyama Mishra for DD India, Mumbai.
And market updates now. Share markets got off to a cautious start in Asia on Monday as investors braced for a possible shutdown of the US government. Japan's Nikkei slipped 0.7%, having risen 6% for September so far, while South Korea bounced to 1.2%, bringing its gains for the month to 6.3%. MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan firmed 0.4% to up almost 4% for the month. Also, U.S. President Donald Trump will meet with the top Democratic and Republican leaders in Congress later on Monday to discuss extending government funding. The talks will be the first between Trump and congressional leaders ahead of the deadline to avoid a shutdown. Well, the bill at issue would only fund government until mid-November and must pass before October 1st. Without a deal, a shutdown would begin from Wednesday, which is also when new U.S. tariffs on heavy trucks, pharmaceuticals and other items go into effect. And the 7th day of Navratri 2025 will be observed on Monday. This year, Navratri is special because the festival has been extended to 10 days instead of the usual 9 days. On the 7th day of Shardiya Navratri 2025, devotees thronged the Chhatarpur temple to offer their prayers and seek blessings. In Kolkata, Suruchi Sangha, a cultural club, has dedicated its pandal theme to Ahuti, to Bengal's unsung freedom fighters. Through this tribute, the pandal honors the sacrifices made during India's struggle for independence, inviting visitors to connect with this rich heritage while celebrating Goddess Durga. The Jobra Durga Puja Pandal in Bhubaneswar's Cuttack stands out this year with its exclusively and exquisitely crafted silver filigree medha, showcasing the city's renowned silver filigree tradition. The intricate design reflects the skill and dedication of the artisans and organizers in preserving Cuttack's rich cultural heritage. Shillong Sarvajanan Durga Puja Committee celebrated its glorious 75th anniversary this year with the Grand Dandiya Festival. The committee organized a vibrant event to bring the community together in joyous celebration. The event featured traditional music, dance and colorful attire reflecting the rich heritage and spirit of Durga Puja in Shillong. Well, the global Garba festival at Delhi's Sundur Nursery came alive with vibrant colors and energetic beats, bringing together people from all walks of life to celebrate the rich tradition of Garba. All right, that's all for this edition of DD India News Hour, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour.